right, guys, welcome back. We are doing the Mega Grid yet again. I'm a Leafs fan. I'm going to do the Leafs, trying to beat Ryan's score from the last video. So let me know in the comments if you guys think I'm going to be able to ace this one. Larmer, you ran this one with me. How do you think it's going to go?
I think it's going to go good. I know you have a lot of very niche knowledge on the Leafs, a lot of guys that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily say. So I think you'll get some really good scores. It's just a matter of if they played for them or not.
Let's see how it goes.
Anaheim. We'll do the Anaheim Ducks, Detroit Red Wings, and Columbus Blue Jackets.
Okay. For the Ducks, Peter Holland will be my first guess.
Let me know if you want me to put it in.
Yeah, put Peter Holland in. Ryan's trying to distract me. 0.6. I thought that would be a lot higher.
Here, you move, and we'll bring you back when his final score is done.
Ryan trying to intimidate me.
At the same time.
This video is my idea. I play Immaculate Grid like every day, and I'll play it twice. No.
Peter Holland is a great score. That's a great score.
Peter Holland is great, but the Detroit one's the one now that I'm not loving. For Columbus, do Matt Fratton. I'll probably use him again.
Is that spelled correctly?
Yeah. He's a real hard-nosed player.
He is. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
That's also a good pick.
Now Detroit, it's just like, I don't want to have to do the one I have in my head. It's really bad. I can't remember if Mrazek is one of the Leaf goalies who also play. Like, Mrazek seems like it's right in my head, but now I'm questioning myself. I know Curtis Joseph is the right answer for this, but I don't want to answer that because it's chalky, right? But I really don't know. Joey Crab would maybe be one, but again, like I'm just thinking, like the problem with doing this is if you try and go super niche and think of like a prospect you know played for the Leafs and you think he might have played somewhere else, and you can screw yourself over.
Yeah.
Just put Curtis Joseph in there. I'm wasting time.
Okay, Cujo, 12%. Actually, pretty good considering all things. You thought he'd be a little bit higher.
I thought that'd be like 40.
We have the Bruins and the Devils we can do here. We're going to write it down just because obviously there's going to be ones over. I guess you can also see some of Sura's scores in here.
I can think of one New Jersey Devil, and that's it. Like, Toronto, New Jersey can't have that much crossover. I'm thinking of David Clarkson, who's like the super notable Leaf signing, and they thought he was going to be like a difference maker, and it just did not fucking work.
Yeah, it was
terrible. It was horrible. But I think that's going to be a really high percentage answer. Who the fuck else would go for New Jersey? McGillney might, yeah.
That's the question, is who would be higher? Who would be lower?
Fuck. So that's two. I don't like either of them. Toronto, Boston, you have a few options. Toronto, Boston, do Jason Allison.
That's a good one. 0.7 is an excellent score. So what I was trying to think about was, now if you did a guy like Fraser Minton, what do you think that would be? Because he played for Boston, right? Like, it's hard because it's obviously a trade that happened 3 months ago, and he's probably played, 5 games for Boston tops?
Yeah.
Could either be super, super high or super, super low.
Yeah, no, that's
right. That's where almost that prospect kind of thing comes in, where you're like, did he do it? Like,
did he even play games? Is the thing. Like,
I'm pretty sure he played like at least 5 games for Boston. I know he suited up. I believe he suited up. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he did suit up.
That's why I'm trying. Like, I'm really trying hard to not
fall into that.
The prospect is like, fuck, the Detroit one I could have ruined already off the bat. And I'm like, I was confident that I think Joey Crab played for both.
Right.
But that name is like so unique that it's just one that'll stick in your head because he has a fucked up last name.
Yeah.
Do David Clarkson for the Devils Leafs. It's probably gonna be horrible.
I think you're overestimating it a little bit.
I mean, who else would it be?
The only two. Come on.
Is there somebody else more recent that I'm missing?
Okay, it is 20%. Those are only two that came to my head.
Like, I don't know who else you could put in there that would be a good pick for
Utah as well as Florida. And yes, Arizona does count under Utah's
Arizona. Yeah, okay.
System, I guess, is the right way to put it.
The Buffalo one I know right off the rip because I met him when I was in Watertown, and it's Tim Connolly. He was very nice. He was coached by the guy that owned my team in the Fed.
Very good score there.
Career ruined by injuries too.
Yep.
He had a lot of problems.
I believe his leg, right?
Leg. There was a concussion. He was featured in. I watched a video recently about like the Berkey era of the Leafs.
Yeah.
And broke down that signing as one of them because they buried him in the AHL the year after his first term. Is it as easy as Lorentz for Florida, Toronto?
See, that's a tough part because again, you're getting like a young, like not a young player, but you're getting like a fourth line guy who also was. I think he was only in Florida for 2 years, I believe. He wasn't like a known guy in Florida. He's maybe a little bit better known here in Toronto, but still.
When you're doing the grids that like not like the regular grid, it's so much easier because you can just put Mike Sillinger for like so many of the squares.
Yeah.
Lorentz. Okay, so I have one for there, and then Phil Kessel would go for the other. Both very chalk answers. I don't know if Lorentz is a good pick. And I know there was some player, like Toronto shipped out Florida, Toronto, Mike Van Ryn,
That's a good one.
assistant coach. How that shouldn't have taken me that long. That's kind of embarrassing. I made a video about this.
Very, very good score there.
Yeah. That also should kind of be higher when you would think about it because he fucking coaches the team now.
The team now. There's a couple here.
That shouldn't have taken me so long.
I only had Lorenz really for that one either.
I was gonna say Chris Versteeg. I know he was Chicago to Toronto, and
a lot of years,
maybe Florida, or Florida might have been between.
The other ones that may have been good, but they're still active, like Mason Marchment.
Would not have gotten that.
Carter Verhaeghe played for the Leafs.
Right. Did he get games in Toronto?
Yeah. Yeah. So that would, but I think Verhaeghe might have been a bit lower considering I don't think anybody knows he was in Toronto. I think Marchment was pretty known he was in Toronto.
Yeah, because I know like Verhaeghe was drafted by Toronto. I was wondering if that's the other thing you can fuck yourself on.
You know
if your guy
drafted.
was just in AHL. Like there's so many Marlies only players.
Did Ed Jovanovski play for Toronto?
A funny story about Ed's son and I. What should I do for Arizona? I think Michael Tellqvist did this, but I might be wrong, and I can't put that on the board. Like that would be too insane to say. But I'm pretty sure he was a Leafs backup goalie. I think he ended up in Utah or in Phoenix. But how much time do I have here?
I mean, it's just anything reasonable. Like we don't want to spend the next 5 minutes, but give yourself a chance here. You still want to get a good score.
Alex Galchenyuk.
That's who I was going with. That was my guy. Very good score there.
Okay.
That we could use. You've already done New Jersey. We're going to throw in the first round draft pick is going to be yours for the Toronto one. You can either do it now or you can wait till later. With Sura, it was only one team. Toronto didn't have one. That was only their one team. But these kind of stat ones are essentially should be 1.1 or 0.1, like you should get a low score on them.
Yep.
So regardless of what it is, you can either do it now or we can wait to get it later. It does not matter.
We'll do it now. Toronto Calgary's my favorite player growing up, Matt Stajan. I met him when I was little in Belleville.
Very good score there.
Yeah, the draft pick one now is where.
So this one's tough too because they've had to have played.
Yeah, they've had to play a game. Was Stuart Percy a first round pick? Because he had to have played a game, and Tyler Biggs never played a game. I did a video about the Leafs first round picks at my old job. It's as simple as Luke Shen.
I think that should score well. 2%. Very well done.
Ron Wilson fucked this guy's career up.
Yeah.
Way too hard on him too early.
It's been nice.
Okay, so open the rest in incognito.
Okay.
So that doesn't happen. And I'm doing.
You have Toronto, Carolina, and I don't think we've done Washington yet. We have not done Washington yet.
Okay.
So you're doing up both of them.
Okay. Carolina's interesting. I don't pay attention to them a lot up until they became. Like, Carolina was irrelevant for a long period of time, so I wasn't paying attention to them, especially when I was younger. Capitals always paying attention to. Now, this is not an answer. Did Fleischmann do this, or was it another one of those bottom six Capitals players that played in Hershey when Hershey was a wagon? I can't believe both
Hershey's
those.
been a wagon.
I'm thinking of guys right now, but they're way too recent. I can't answer. Rasmus Sandin, they traded to, and then they got Eric from that
Gustafsson,
deal.
yeah.
But those are both going to be like 33%ers because that was a recent trade. Olaf Kolzig never played. Toronto traded for him, but he never played. That was just to remove salary, and Toronto got draft picks out of it. Washington Capitals. There's an AHL center, or AHL forward, who had a shit ton of points with the other Giroux, who in Hershey, where they were a fucking wagon. And Toronto signed him, and he played a few games in Toronto, but mostly stuck down with the Marlies. What the fuck is his name? This guy, they said they had like the AHL point totals. They were leaders like for a couple seasons. And now, I mean, Hershey's a wagon every year. I'm pretty sure it was Alexander Giroux and this other guy. And what was the other guy's name? This is where the brick wall.
There's one guy here. You would think is chalk, but I don't know because his time in Washington was incredibly small and probably forgotten considering the length of the rest of his career with the other teams he was with.
Okay. I'm going to come back to Washington. The Carolina one, we talked about it yesterday. So Tim Brent.
Okay, let's throw him out there.
I talked to Ryan about this yesterday.
Very good score there at 0.3.
Yeah.
Almost could play us and make up for the one with Washington here.
I just don't know. Ryan might have aced this is the thing, because I don't know Ryan's score. I have to play this like I'm trying, like I'm behind. The Tim Brent one, like I was saying, like that's the player who like you can fuck yourself on by saying.
Yeah. But if you're confident in it, obviously you can get a good score.
I've
which you
answered
did.
Tim Brent for the Toronto Carolinas. I've done the Immaculate Grid a lot. So Tim Brent's been, the Carolina Toronto one's been more than once. And I've used it. Washington. How am I on time? Do I need to give you an answer?
Let's get, I mean, it's 4:14. I think you're okay.
Okay.
We're about an hour in with you and
I'm assuming there's the editors will have stuff to cut
the
out of
editors
this.
will fine anyway.
Washington, just say David Steckel, and if I'm wrong, I'll scream. Because I know he played in Toronto, and he was a sick face-off guy.
Correct. Great score there. Well done. Very well done. All right.
Okay.
Chicago and the Islanders.
I already said this guy when we were doing the Leafs Blackhawks one, or Leafs Florida one, and I said I'm pretty sure he was the answer, but I was wrong. I wasn't sure if I was right. Christopher Stieg played for the Leafs and the Capital, or Leafs and the Blackhawks.
That's who you want?
It might be a little high though. We'll see.
You want it though?
No, run it. Yeah.
2%. Great score.
Okay. Islanders. Now this is where it becomes more, because you got obvious one is Johnny T.
Good one for Chicago and Toronto would have been Tim Stapleton. That would have been a good one.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm Babs' servant right here.
Har's just being nice because
Beauty Harsh.
I'm not feeling well, so it's just been. There's a few cases. Lou loved Leafs guys, and that they had a bunch of Leafs bottom six jump around between the two when Lou left, and Leo Komarov, I think would be a correct answer.
Yes.
So
I believe so. Yeah, I'm confident in it. I know 100% it is, yeah.
Do you think Leafs fans remember?
That's the thing.
Our hero, the guy that was the only one really still trying when the team was eliminated, trying to get Matthews. Apparently he's a great dude. Part Finnish, Estonian, I guess. Put Komarov in there. I know it's right.
I don't think it'll be that high. 4%, great score. Known for never wearing a helmet properly. All right. Rangers and Oilers.
Rangers and Oilers, there's a pile. So the Chalk Hyman, Soup Klinberg.
Yep.
That's two. That's just on the nose as fuck. Who else fits this? Oh my god, I just thought of another Islander. Michael Pekka would have been great.
Michael Pekka would have been great.
He might have played for the Oilers, but I'm really like not confident in that.
Also the Rangers assistant coach. Or skills coach, I guess is his proper title.
Leafs and Rangers, Dominic Moore.
All time.
Yeah.
Immaculate Grid GOAT.
Yeah. Okay. Put Dominic Moore in because that's a freebie. I wonder how many more of the things I've done Dominic Moore would have been a correct answer for.
I think it's something like 9 teams he played for, something like that. Another. You could have gone back to Peter Holland there as well.
Oh,
Thought
fuck.
maybe you would have done that.
I wouldn't have
Doesn't matter. 1% is a great score.
I wouldn't have gotten there. How do people forget Dominic Moore?
I think he just played for so many teams. I think his longest stint might have been with either the Bruins or the Rangers. He had 2 stints with the Rangers. He might have been forgotten as a Leaf compared to forgotten as a Ranger.
Okay. Leafs Oilers. I have a few thoughts, and I don't want to say them. Soup is probably gonna get crushed. Hyman's gonna get crushed. I might have to go Klingberg, but I don't know. In the year he got waived 3 times, was the Leafs the last stop? No, that's a suicide answer. I'm not saying that. No, that'd be bad. I wonder how low my score would be if I said the ones I wasn't sure on. Did Connor Brown get traded from Ottawa to Toronto and then end up with the Oilers? Just say Klingberg. No
Pretty
way.
good score. You also could have done Connor Brown. I believe he was with the Leafs before he was Ottawa. Here we go. Toronto, Vancouver, Nashville.
All right, chalk answer, Matt Sundin. That'll be high as fuck, though. Ooh, okay, defenseman, played for Toronto, and they ran him out of town. What the fuck is his name? His name isn't Mario. Ryan's currently mocking me right now, guys, as I'm trying to focus. Trying to get me off my game. Not a lot of guys played in Vancouver and Toronto. I think I have an idea for Toronto. Sam Lafferty might be the answer for Toronto. Okay, no, I can't say that, though. Fuck, because where did Sam Lafferty play? Was he part of the trade he was a trade piece between Toronto and Chicago. But I actually don't know if he actually played for Vancouver or not. But Luke Shen did. Luke Shen.
You want to go Luke Shen?
Luke Shen did.
Luke Shen with a 6% for Vancouver. Sam Lafferty would have worked.
Okay. Sam Lafferty probably would have been way lower.
Yeah. And I think he went obviously Chicago with Jake McCabe to Toronto and then from Toronto to Vancouver. But 6% otherwise, still a very good score. Very good score.
I'm having trouble thinking of the defenseman that played for Toronto and the Preds right now. Oh, did Olli Jokinen play for the Preds? Olli Jokinen definitely played for Florida, and there would have been a good answer. I might be just seeing the logos in this, and then that might be tripping me up. So I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna say that. Is it Cody Franzen? Yeah, put Cody Franzen in there.
Absolute great pull there. He was the guy I had in my head.
Yeah, they ran him out of Toronto, and he wasn't
Yeah.
a bad player. They weren't really fair to a lot of Leafs defensemen, including, hey, 2 guys that got fucked. 2 really, like, good
You have not done the Blues, so Kings and
Kings and
Blues.
Okay. Fratton works again for the Leafs and the Kings. Matt Fratton. I'm just gonna start reusing answers. I'm not feeling good.
Matt Fratton, 0.6. Excellent score coming in there. A lot of mid-2000s Leafs coming from you, which is nice to see.
It was when now I'm tapped in, but when I was the most tapped in
Mid-2000s
was that period.
Yeah. Like getting Stajan, Fratton, Shen.
Every transaction,
All those guys, yeah.
all of it. I could name back then. I could probably have named the Leafs and Marlies lineup, which is kind of sad. But
Yeah, considering they were very bad too.
I dealt with a lot of pain.
Yeah.
We have there's a fucking TSN guy would be an answer for Toronto and St. Louis. Carlo
Kolovacki,
but that might be
yeah.
he's in everyone's minds constantly. So no, fuck it, no, put it in Carlo Kolovacki.
2%. Good score. The other guy I had in my head was Kasperi Kapanen, but that is a great pick
This one a few times.
as well. You've already done Buffalo and you've already done
Okay.
Vancouver, so just the Wild here.
I featured him in a video last year that I did. Robbie Earl is the answer for the for the Wild Leafs. Is Robbie Earl, Robbie. Yep, there he is. Ended up in Europe after. Very fast skater.
0.4. Absolute pull there from Babs.
Yeah, Toronto got him.
Over here of teams.
Ryan Sir should have known my answer for this one immediately.
Don't think you've done Pittsburgh or Philadelphia as well. So we're going to do all 3 teams here.
One of my favorite players of all time, Yannick Perreault for Montreal, Toronto. No panic, Yannick.
For Montreal, Toronto, you said?
Montreal, Toronto, NHL all-time leader in face-off percentage. He might spell it with just one N. No.
Let's just go Pro. Oh,
Yeah,
there he
you
was
got
right
it.
there.
His son's playing the NHL now.
Yes, that is right. Gabe
Yeah.
Perreault.
Yannick Perreault, best face-off man ever.
0.5. Great score there. Excellent score.
His kids liked the video I made about his dad before. Because people were like, no, so-and-so is the best face-off guy. And I'm like, you didn't know.
Yannick Pro is very, very good.
He was sick.
Yeah.
Did your dad ever play with him?
My dad did. He played against Yannick Pro. Yeah.
Was your dad a center?
Wing.
Wing?
Yeah.
Imagine having to take a fucking face-off against
Not
that guy.
fun. Not fun.
He was electric. Toronto, like he got acquired at the deadline when Toronto was trying to make it 1 year purely based off his face-off ability. All-star game with the Arizona Coyotes.
He played in a lot of places. It's funny. His older son, Jacob, I believe, always played for Canada, was born in Montreal, but always played for Canada international teams growing up. His other son, Gabe, may have also been born in Montreal, but I think he was born when he was in Arizona or
Yeah, Gabe
wherever else
plays
he
USA.
played, because he's always played USA. So always been an interesting little combination there where one
Weird,
plays for
right?
Canada and one plays for the States.
Who did Toronto trade this deadline? Like I truly feel like a sack of shit right now. Who did Toronto trade at the deadline to Pittsburgh? And did they even play games? Shit. Gurbankin didn't play, I don't think, for Philly. And that's a risky.
Couple chalk ones for
I know, yeah,
Pittsburgh,
Kessel.
Toronto. Kessel, obviously.
Yeah, but that's going to be a high percentage answer. Philly is not, like, I'm not, a single bell hasn't rung for Philadelphia. Other than Gurbankin was just a trade piece.
I don't believe he played. I actually have no idea.
I can tell you he didn't because I looked.
But you can't get the guy who they traded for.
Yes.
Is what you're saying? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Deadline moves to Pittsburgh. Who were the pieces? No, I'm not touching that. Because either it's gonna be chalk or I'll be wrong. Like I have some like Luka Caputi seems like a correct answer to me because I think he was involved in one of the trades, but like I don't know for sure if he played. Like I shouldn't say that. If I don't know, I'm better off saying the chalk answer because it would say it's like a 60%. That's better than 100.
Yes.
Better off not being wrong. Philly say JVR. That's probably horrible, but I don't know anyone else.
Fuck, did I just put that in? That's okay. You said JVR. We'll go to it.
You can still use the grid.
Can I?
It'll let you answer it again. 27. Okay.
You were thinking of Scott Lawn.
No, I meant the Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Trade
okay.
pieces. Not
Thought you were talking
Scott
about
Lawn.
Philly.
Lawton would have been higher, I think.
You think so? 27 is pretty high. Still, though, that is a chalk name. Yeah.
No, I'm trying to think of the trade pieces between Pittsburgh and Toronto at the deadline, but
Right.
I don't know if they traded guys and then they didn't play, or if they buried them in Wilkes-Barre. 27 is pretty embarrassing, but I don't know if there was a better answer for Philadelphia than what I gave. No, I've got one that's Matt Murray.
That
will
is a good
be
one.
better than saying Phil.
Yeah. 5% from Matt Murray.
I thought that would be higher.
That is a good score. Also could have gone. There is Sir score.
Okay.
So you can do, I believe, yes, you can do Ottawa and Dallas here.
Dallas, Toronto, LTIR, Robodas. I think that should be a low answer. Stefan Robodas. One lower. Robodas.
Would be ROB.
ID.
Great score there. 2%. Very, very good.
And you have a lot of options.
So you can't. Oh yeah, here we are. Okay.
A lot of options for this one. So Dion.
Yep.
You have some really easy ones. Put Clark MacArthur. Everyone's gonna forget that he exists.
4% from
That's
Clark
not bad.
MacArthur there.
That's not bad.
That is great. Could have also done Connor
That's the
Brown.
easiest square for me to get.
Yeah, just Colorado
Just
here.
Colorado?
Yeah.
Okay. This one's tough. Now, Toronto traded a goalie to Colorado once. I don't know. I'm trying to remember who. Right, this should be the easiest trivia I've ever done, and I feel like I'm like stonewalling at the end because I could say Kadri here and just be done with it. Like I feel like it's better getting the players they traded away than the players that went from Toronto too. Is there any free agents? I know Kadri's a correct answer. Put Nazem Kadri. I literally can't think of fucking anybody else.
Nazem Kadri, 30%.
I don't know.
Other options could have been Tyson Berry.
Yeah, I just thought that would be.
I don't know if he'd be higher or lower than Nazem Kadri. It's hard to say. It depends whether you're coming from a Leaf guy or a Colorado guy, right? Like if
I
it's
assume more Leafs. There's more Leafs fans. So I would
Right.
assume more Leafs fans probably.
yeah. So just San Jose here, I believe.
Because
We've done Florida. We've done St. Louis. So just San Jose.
this one, I know this one's a low pull because I've done this one before. He got a DUI while he was with San Jose. Mark Bell is going to be the answer for this one. I was in grade school when Toronto signed this guy.
Mark Bell, 0.9. Absolute pull there again.
Yeah, Mark Bell.
Toronto and Seattle. Have you done Carolina? I believe you have.
Yep.
We have. So, yes, Toronto and Seattle.
Mark Giordano. Who the fuck else could it be?
Tough year with a new team, for sure. I'll give you that.
It's whoever maybe Toronto lost in the expansion draft. I don't know who that could be.
That would be-
You lose guys in the expansion draft and they don't play.
That'd be a good pull if you can remember who they got taken from the expansion draft. Would be probably better than Giordano.
Giordano's going to be like a 56%. Yeah, the Kadri one's going to screw me, being that high. It's like, yeah, who did Toronto let go? Or did they even let anyone go? Or they could have taken a prospect that was down in the AHL and that wouldn't even count for either. Yeah, I hadn't played yet. I know what I have to do. I just don't know if I have the strength to do it. That's probably if there's another answer. I don't know what they traded Giordano for, so just put Mark Giordano.
Mark Giordano. See where it goes here.
It's probably 60%.
75%. High one there. Player you were looking for was Jared McMahon or Jared McCann, I believe. I think it's Jared McCann.
Again, from the documentary I watched talking about Ron Wilson. Or it wasn't a documentary, it was like a CBC piece with Ron Wilson. Pavel Kabina.
Pavel Kabina. Great score. 3%.
Great defenseman.
Should bring it down. Last one here before we go into with Winnipeg. Winnipeg did not have a grid with Toronto. I have ranked all the players down on my opinion, on basic knowledge, but Vegas and Toronto nonetheless.
Ryan Reeves. Is Pacioretty better?
That's the question.
I did kind of just say that as my answer. I basically
That's okay. I think that's okay. It was quick enough. You know they're both right, so it's just a matter of what is going to be lower.
just put Reeves. Fuck it. I feel like that's kind of cheap that I said it was my pick.
37%. I can't imagine Pacioretty being much different, if not higher.
I shouldn't have been so
Again,
dismissive of myself.
all right. So I'm going to pull the Winnipeg Jets hockey reference up on my phone.
Okay.
And once you say the player, we'll lock in the player. I will scroll down to where we've ranked them, and it'll be based on if the player's under the good section, it'll be 5, mid will be 10, bad will be 15.
And so Jets, Atlanta as well.
Yes, Atlanta works for the Jets as well. All right, go ahead. Let's hear your guess.
I'm doing the slightly risky one because I feel like because of my 37% and the 27, and like the JVR one, the Calgary one are probably gonna fuck me, and maybe Ryan did better than I did. Garnet Exelby.
Garnet Exelby is.
Hey guys, why don't you shut the fuck up?
And I believe I placed Garnet Exelby under good. That is a 5. Great pull. Probably would have been lower if we had the grid. Unfortunately, not.
All right, guys, I actually did better than I thought. Maybe I got lucky a few times. Maybe you might have nodded your head once in a while before I even gave my answer, and that might have tipped me off. Who knows?
Yeah, I think you named the entire 2010's Toronto Maple Leafs, which obviously came in for a pretty good score, and yeah, did pretty well. So
If you want us to do more of these guys, let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video today, make sure to subscribe.